What is up, everybody? Today I'm making a new kind of series where I'm gonna basically explain why I love a specific thing like game, music, or some other stuff. And by the title, you can see that I'm going to explain why I love Persona 5, aka my favorite game of all time. So I just beat Persona 5 Royal like a couple days ago, and I thought, I'd explain why I love it. So here we go. I'm going to start out with an explanation of the game, kind of like a little backstory or something. So I bought the original Persona 5 last year, right around when I quit my job in Elboro, because I saw something on the internet about it, and I was like, I wonder if this game would be fun. So I got it for like 20 bucks on the PlayStation Store, and I loved like every single minute of playing it, and I played it constantly for like 90 hours. Like, it's a long game. So Persona is a turn-based RPG, aka role-playing game that takes place in Shibuya? I think I always said it wrong. Shibuya and like other Japanese locations, and it takes place in like the real world, but it has like fantasy elements to it. So this is obviously the 5th game in the series, but I haven't played any of the other 4, but I know they're also good, but you don't need to play the other 4 to play this game. So this game is made by Atlus, a Japanese game company. They've made other games like Catherine, which I talked about in my channel before. So there's 2 versions, the original Persona 5, which I just talked about, that I played last year, which came out in 2016. And I just beat Royal, which is the newer version of the game. It's basically the same game, but it has like added stuff and improvements that just came out. All this came out in just like March 31st of this year. So like I just beat it. I beat it in like a month. It was like 105 hours I spent on it. Anyways, so yeah, I played both. And yes, I did pay full price for the new game, $60. But I actually paid a little extra because I got extra content in game and IRL. Like I got a Joker mask and I got an art book. All of that I think was like $80. I forgot. So basically, I'm gonna explain a little bit of the game without trying to spoil anything. So basically, you're like a normal high school kid who has to move to Shibuya for a crime he didn't commit. And at first, you live like your normal life and meet new people in high school. But the protagonist, aka you wake up to like a special power you receive that basically lets you summon a monster ally person to like fight on your side called a persona. It's kind of like a stand from JoJo, if you've ever seen JoJo. So anyways, you use that power to fight against adults who have what they call distorted desires, aka they're like dicks. And you meet like new friends who have the same power as you do, or they gain the same power as you do, to form a group called the Phantom Thieves. I said that weird, I don't know. And their goal is basically to remove the evil desires from messed up people by stealing their hearts. And then there's like 2 main parts of the game. There's the first, which is the real world part, where you go to high school and you live the life of a high school student. And you get to hang out with your friends, and the more you hang out with them, the more like skills you can unlock with them to use in the fantasy land, aka the metaverse, which is the second part of the game. The metaverse, where you go inside like messed up people's hearts and fight what is known as a palace, which is like the manifestation of their distorted desires, basically. If that makes any sense, I hope it does. They explain it a lot better in the game. But yeah, you fight your way through a lot of enemies till you face the boss. And once you defeat the boss, you basically remove all the evil desires inside of them. It's a lot more complicated than that, honestly, but I'm just trying to keep it short for you. So, I want to talk about the gameplay now. The gameplay, as I mentioned in P5, is a turn-based RPG, which if you don't know what that means, it basically means that your team gets a turn to attack, and then when your turn's done, the other team, like the enemies, they get their turn to attack. That's why it's turn-based. If you've ever played a Pokemon game, Persona is like a lot like Pokemon, just like more adult. I call it the adult Pokemon, but Persona is so much better. I don't want to explain like the whole gameplay system. I'm gonna just describe why I love it. I had to rewrite this because I just explained the gameplay, but I never said why I loved it. So the gameplay in this game is super simple to pick up, but learning like to perfect it takes a lot of skill. And like I'm still learning how to like perfect it. Like if you just jump in the game, it'll be super simple. Like it won't take that much learning. They basically handhold you at the first time, at like the first part. But all the enemies are like super creative also, and they're like super cool or like weird or funny. Like legit, there's an enemy that's just a penis in like a wheelchair. It's the best thing ever. I'll show you a picture of it. But literally, it's just a penis in a wheelchair, and it has like a little like each enemy has like a line of like different enemies. So you have like the big bad one is the penis wheelchair, but then they have like smaller penises. Like I'll show you the pictures of them. They're funny as hell. Anyways, but the gameplay is just like Pokemon. Like, each little persona has its own, like, move type, and it'll know, like, ice attacks or, like, fire attacks. And if you, like, attack the enemy's weakness, the enemy will get knocked down. And if you knock all the enemies down, you get a cool special move where, like, everyone attacks at once. And it's, like, just super cool. One thing Persona 5 Royal added that I loved so much was, like, a special new move they called Showtime. And it's basically, like, two of the characters create their own little special combo move. And they're all, like, super over the top and, like, cool as hell. Like, one is two girls who get into, like, a wrestling ring, and they fight the enemy by, like, hitting them with a chair, and then, like, jumping off the top rope and, like, elbow dropping them. It's super funny. They're all super cool. The game in general is just, like, the coolest thing ever. So, like, to recap, the gameplay is kind of like Pokemon, but, like, way better, and it's super fun and simple, but takes skill to, like, really perfect. And it's just overall a really solid experience. If you're, like, worried about gameplay being good, like, I'm a kind of guy who, like, really picky when it comes to gameplay. So this game being turn-based and just super simple was just really, like, welcoming to me as, like, a new, like, a beginner to the game. So yeah. Next I'm gonna jump into is the characters. So yeah, the characters, I think, are the biggest aspect of the game. It's all about, like, character building, and honestly, the biggest reason why I love this game is because of the characters. So there's the main cast, so, like, you and then your other Phantom Thief members. But then there's also a whole bunch of other characters who you can build friendships with. So in the game, they're called confidants. And if you hang out with them during, like, the real world portion of the game, like, you get special skills to use, like, in real world or, like, most often in the metaverse, aka, like, the fantasy land. 90% of the characters I love, and then, like, 10% I like, but, like, don't like. Like, they kind of make me mad. So that's how I feel after beating Royal, the newer version. So, like, basically the second time beating the game. The first time, it was more like 60-40. But eventually, like, a lot of characters grew on me. Also, you have a cool thing. I guess it's cool, but you have an option to date any girl in the game. Or even, like, all at once when you build their bonds enough. Like, they'll admit their feelings for you, basically, at, like, the end of the bond leveling. And you can just, like, completely friend zone the hell out of them. It's kind of funny. But it's low-key sad too. Like, they'll just straight up admit, like, protagonist, I think I have feelings for you. And you'll just be like, oh, that's cool. So do you want to stay friends? And they'll be all disappointed, like, oh, okay. I'm a terrible person, but it's fine. It's just a game, guys. It's just a game. Anyways, I'm gonna just quickly run through all the characters, and I'm gonna give a very brief one-line description of each. This is in no particular order. So, Morgana, my bestest friend who is basically a cat. Maruki, a really cool doctor slash therapist who is, let's say, a really surprising character. Makoto, the smart girl who's voiced by Cherry Millet, who I love, so I love Makoto. I'm sorry if I say the names wrong. Haru, she's the girl who I thought was meh, but really grew on me. Also a rich girl of the group who I completely friend-zoned. Yusuke, cool I guess, but he's really weird and he kind of pisses me off. Sojiro, the guy who I wish was my dad in real life. Kasumi, I don't know. The best girl and the best waifu, who I didn't friendzone. An, my ex-best girl, who got replaced by Kasumi. She was my first waifu in the OG game. Ryuji, my human best friend, who is kind of dumb, but really cool. Akechi, let's just say he's the most complicated character, but a really good one, because I don't want to spoil anything. Futaba, she's the nerdy girl who's cute AF, who I friendzoned so hard that I actually felt bad for her, because she's more like a little sister than anything. Chichiya, I call her Chichiya. She's cool, I guess, but that's really all I got for her. She's like just a character for me. Iwai, he's the shady Yakuza dude who's a dick, but like really cool dick. That sounded kind of gay. Whatever. Takumi, she's the punk slash goth doctor who is super fucking hot. All I gotta say. Kakawami, she's my teacher who probably has a thing for me. Ohoya, she's and kind of makes me mad also, like Yusuke. Shinya, my little bro. Hifumi, I think it's how you say it. She is the cute introvert type. Mishima, guy who says I'm his best friend but isn't really my best friend, but he's still super cool. Yoshida, guy who's boring AF but gives good power-ups, so I talk to him. Sai, the I'm gonna capture you and arrest you character. Igor, got a big nose. Twins, they're mean AF but cute and make me laugh. So yeah, that's basically every character you can hang out with and a little description of how I think of them. So to recap, the characters are the best part about this game, I think, and most of them are super awesome and cool, and I wish they could be my friends in real life, but, you know, obviously they're not. You ever just watch an anime about, like, really good friends and be like, I wish I had friends? enough of that. So, music. Just a real quick thing I really love about this game is the music. Like, this has my favorite soundtrack of any game ever. Like, the songs just bop. Every song bops. It's so catchy, just makes me want to like bob my head to it or just want to dance, but I can't dance. So, like, even if you don't play this game, like, listen to the soundtrack. It has some amazing songs. Like, the songs are so good that every Persona game has a dancing rhythmic game where you dance to the songs called, the Persona 5 one's called Persona 5 Dancing with Starlight. Kind of hard. I'm kind of bad at rhythm games. Anyways, I just wanted to point that out. So, yeah. Okay, so just to recap, just a little review. So, in all seriousness, I love this game, like, so much. Like, it's without a doubt my favorite game of all time, and I can't even think of anything that comes close to it. Like, this game literally changed my life, and I became a huge fanboy. Like, I literally have stickers on my laptop, in my wallet. I have Persona 5 memorabilia, my phone and my laptop background are Persona 5 related. Like, it's completely overtook my life, but in the absolute best way. Like, I know some of you watching who don't like video games probably, like, think I'm crazy as hell, but it's fine because I am crazy as hell. But, like, this game will always hold a special place in my heart, and I don't know what could come out that could overtake this masterpiece of a game. Maybe, like, Persona 6 in, like, 5 years. But for now, definitely Persona 5. Just everything about this game was so good in the original Persona 5 that when Persona 5 Royal came out and it added a whole new like parts of the game that just blended in so well with the old story, and like it also made improvements to the original game that I didn't know I needed, but like now that I have them, I don't know if I can play the original without those added improvements. And like even though Persona 5 Royal is basically like a remade version of Persona 5 original with the same plot basically, Royal did enough to change the original to keep it like fresh for me and motivated to keep me playing just to see like all the new stuff that was added. And yeah, the story was just beyond amazing. I don't want to spoil anything at all, but it just kept getting better and better and better. Like the story was honestly like inspiring too. Like just saying like be the change you want to see in society. Don't sit back and hope for like change. Like you got to take action. You got to be the change. It covers things like greed, loss, envy, even like suicide, and just makes you like think, you know? Like games that make you think are good. I don't know why I'm saying think like that, but whatever. Like especially the new content they added in like Royal was just so heavy and good and probably like my favorite part of the game. I just love like every moment of it. Like, except there's this one boss in Royal that was really bad and really annoying, and everyone agrees with me on that, but like everything else is fine. From the characters, the story, the music, the gameplay, anything you can think of was just so good. And like, I'm sure I'll cover this on my vlog eventually, just come out first, but I'd score Persona 5 regular as a 9, and Royal gets my first ever 10 on my channel. Like, 10 is perfection. I think this game was just about as close to perfection you can get. Yeah, sure, I'm probably like heavily biased, but I just literally cannot think of a better experience I've had while playing a game. Like, I genuinely enjoyed myself playing a game. It's like the only game I've ever played where like I beat it and like I legit I'm like sad I beat it. Normally I'm like thank God I finally beat a game. This one I was legit sad. So in conclusion, just play the damn game. Like I'd say buy Royal, but it's 60 bucks right now. So if you want to spend that, play the original, which is like 20 bucks. But like obviously this isn't a game that everyone would like, especially if you're not like an anime fan. But I know people who don't like the game at all, like they don't like the characters or anything like that. But like just give it a chance. Like if you're needing a game, especially during the quarantine, that's gonna take like, I don't know, like a long time, like 100 plus hours out of your life. Just play it. When I first played it, I would have never guessed that it became my new favorite game. So yeah, just to end, this is why I love Persona 5. So if you guys want more of these kind of videos, I have plans for new stuff I can write. Anyways, just like and subscribe. Let me know if you guys like the video. Thank you for watching. I will get this done soon. Goodbye.